think a lot of people have pushed back against is the idea of following your passions. And I know that you go against that. So
Yeah.
I'd love for you to dive into that.
Yeah, no, passions you tend not to you passions tend not to pay the bills. I'll say it that way. Your
Yeah.
strengths, however, do.
Right.
There's a couple problems here. One, passions just tend not to pay as much as your strengths. Yes, there are exceptions to that, but usually passions just don't pay. Our passions tend to be more creative.
Mhm.
You're not really paid to be creative in most professions. You are paid to get your job done and get it done right, get it done fast, just be an expert in your field. Whether it's numbers or whether it's computers or working with your hands, whatever it happens to be, those are generally your strengths. People want to pay you for what you're good at, not for what you like. And that's a very, very hard thing for a lot of people to hear, me
Yeah.
included in a previous life. The market doesn't care what you like. It really doesn't. It doesn't care what you're passionate about. It cares about what you're good at. That's going to make you a living. And then leave your passions for the nights and the weekends and the vacations so you don't have to worry about making a full-time income from your passion. And the other problem with this is when you do make your passion your full-time income, guess what happens? It's probably not going to be your passion very, very much longer.
Yes.
Again, yes, there probably are exceptions. But when you're forced to make a living, when you're forced to do these things, even if it's something that you are passionate about, sometimes you get tired of it. Sometimes you just don't want to do it. And that that it's one of the reasons why I did not go into photography, because that is my passion. I am
Yep.
good at working with computers. My passion is taking photos. But there's no way I was going to make a career out of taking photos, because guess what? To this day, I'm 42 now, and photography is still my passion. If I was a full-time photographer in some way, wedding photographer, photojournalist, whatever, I probably wouldn't just go out on strolls with my camera, because I was doing that for the entire week. I was
Yep.
making a living. I had to do these things. And therefore, my passion of photography would naturally take a backseat. So when you're trying to decide, and of course, this is going to be more of an issue when you're younger than when you're older,
For sure.
when you're trying to decide your career path, and I think it's crazy that we're doing this at 18 and just expecting everything to work out, because we don't know ourselves at that point, much less what we want to do in the future. Another conversation. But when
Yeah.
you are going through that process, I always like to encourage people, if college is what you want to do, and I still recommend college for the majority of people, choose the highest paying degree field with the best possibility of income and job prospects that fall in line with your strengths. That's the key. Go in state. If you want to go to a community college first and then transfer those credits to a 4-year degree, that's even cheaper. That is like the absolute cheapest way to get your 4-year degree in a high paying career field. So if you do have to take out student loans, you're probably going to pay those back pretty quickly, and you're going to start building wealth rapidly. The last thing you want to do is go to some really expensive school, some prestigious school, unless you want to be a lawyer or a doctor. There are exceptions there. But for the most part, you just don't have to do that, especially if you're getting a degree in something you're passionate about and you're taking out student loans to get it. That is a recipe for spending the next 10, 15, 20 years being saddled with student loan debt.
Yeah. The idea of pursuing your passion in theory sounds really great, but I love the
Oh, yeah.
thing that you spoke on that like I believe in so much is when you pursue your passion and try to make it your full-time thing, you will eventually probably end up hating it because you're relying on that one
Absolutely.
thing. And like you said, it's like if I'm doing photography the entire week, I'm not going to do that for fun anymore. That is not a passion anymore. It ends up
Exactly.
just you end up not enjoying it as much. Early on for people, I didn't go to college. I didn't feel like it made sense for me, but I think for a lot of people like you said, go down the path that makes the most money. It may not be the most fulfilling, but it's going to allow you to retire earlier or at least have the choice to be able to if you want to. Financial
Hmm.
independence is the thing, like you said, not a lot of people put enough emphasis on. How were you able to, and how can other people, I mean, identify their strengths so that they know which path to go down?
Yeah, I think when you're going through school, whatever subjects you're good at, that's probably going to be your strength. And for me, it was always computer and science. Computer and science, those two subjects were what I just naturally excelled at.
Mm.
They weren't necessarily my passion. Like I said, I didn't necessarily love going to my job every day. But guess what it did? It gave me the resources I needed to quit in my mid-30s and do whatever I want for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's what you get for following your strength and not your passion. So the courses that you are just naturally good at, that you get A's in with almost without even trying, those are probably your strengths. And again, when you go to college, think about this phrase. You go to college to earn, not to learn. That's so important. I will even say it again. You go to college to earn and not to learn. So once you understand that, I think your perspective, will change to focusing more on those higher paying strengths, less on those lower paying passions that you want to do on the side, but you don't want to earn a living doing. That's really the magic. That's how you fit all of these pieces into place. High paying jobs with good job prospects will set you up to be debt free and financially independent as early as possible in life every time.